Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Company Heroes 1 or 2 replay. Well, on the north side as Yellow British, we got Kuramor. Was that name well enough? And spawned as the US forces, we got Machete. Well, on the south side as Austere player, Magenta Austere player, we do have Frantz99. And spawns a red Okuta player, we got khoa. And every single player selected a doctrine. We got the relatively rare defensive community doctrine, give you access to all Strupen, and the Pack 43, and the Stug E. So it gives you more of a transformative doctrine. For the OKW player, he has selected the Breakthrough doctrine to get access to Panzerfuziers and Jag Tiger. So they have two sources of heavy AT. The British player has selected the Mobile Assault Regiment, does immediately bring in some recovery sappers, and the US player has gone for the standard airborne. So, standard play here, not very standard. Oh, think of the follow, Red Crimson with a H at the end. I don't know how to pronounce that, my apologies.
Knock it off and listen up.
Rock Squad heading down south for the winter.
Listen up.
We do have all Strupen actually being put on the field.
We have new units.
We got new units of Strupen. You can count on Strupen. I really hate how they nerf Strupen in the final patch of the game. There's a very little reason to go for Strupen now, since you can get things. Now you have to build the same structure as Grenadiers. Of course, as Strupen or Grenadier would definitely be disfiguring when fighting against two squads there. Strupen squad needs to fall back. This guy needs to stay back. He's getting hit by two squads there, and there's a lot of damage. Not too much damage on these guys here. Got the MG42, however, does not get any volleys off there. Strupen protecting the flank of the MG42. A third squad of Strupen employed on the field. Pioneers in the region. MG42 3 packs on up. Rifle squad trying to flank the MG42. Okay, MG42 hits the rifle squad, suppresses him. Can you put a camera of your face somewhere that isn't... No, I'm not a rabbit. Fox. Don't you see the tails? You now have the Strupen firing against the Pathfinders. Pioneers now pursuing the Pathfinders over here. Strupen now advancing, trying to pursue him. And the Pathfinder, I think, is maybe going inside the garrison. It does. There's, of course, there is 3 windows over there. It's a decent spot to fight from. Strupen not in any sort of cover, so they get 50% less accuracy. When they're in cover, they do get plus 300% accuracy. It's weird how it's actually calculated for this guy. Pioneers get behind some light cover, Strupen gets behind some heavy cover, so they now able to fight. Up here, do now the Volkswagen backing off. We've got a Panzerfaust onto the Universal Carrier, being upgraded to Vickers K. And we'll be safe enough for now. We do have now a captain pulling the field. The Russian squad could come over and help out repair, but we've got the recovery staff from the region getting some good repairs here as well.
Upgrade all done and given a polish.
Infantry squad.
MG42 on the flank. We do have now the Oberslassen squad behind some good heavy cover. Pioneers laid down Teller Mine, very nice.
I suppose you have orders. New job, sir. Gruppe, prepare for orders. Stand ready.
Pathfinders. Panzerfuziers advancing. Volkswagen behind some good heavy cover. And the infrastructure does capture the munitions sector there. Panzerfuzier advancing. That little damage there does not mean to receive an upgrade. Has not deployed out any HQ, or at least got any converted HQ, quote unquote. MG42 force back the captain. The Russian squad does get AoE suppressed down. I hear some wire there. Volkswagen, not Volkswagen, Panzerfuziers, not Panzerfuziers. Oh, I'm saying all the wrong words. Ostrupen. It's been a while since the last said the word Ostrupen. Volksgrenadiers has a good light cover. We do have a slit trench there. Now a 55 caliber sniper being deployed in the field. The cannon warfare trying to find an opportunity to gauge the universal carrier. Got a decent amount of wire there. I think that was deployed up by the British player. Recovery sapper does get inside that slit trench. Got the intersection inside the slit trench, but looks like only 2 guys are firing. Got the line of sight blocker here. So not a great slit trench. Throws a incendiary grenade there. Looks like 3 guys are firing. Now we've got the intersection behind some good heavy cover there. We do have now the All-Struppen firing some good behind some good heavy cover there, while the Pathfinders do get inside the garrison. Which 2 windows, not great. Even though they do have 2 slot weapons, more of a squad you want to have all guys firing. Panzer's backs on off, taking some damage there. They're going to get overran by all these forces. Cannon warfare dancing around, no Panzerfaust there. Retreats back with cannon warfare. These guys need to fall back real soon. Volksgrenadiers do fall back, and now this Volksgrenadier is going to be focused down. And everything does fall back there. Just got tidy units there. Ostrupen failing. And got a telemine there. MG42 protecting the flank, the far flank. Got a MG42 bunker trying to protect this cutoff sector.
We are losing a sector.
But it's still being upgraded. No medical bunker just yet. And do we see battle phase? We see battle phase 2 being researched. No tier 2 being built. Trying to skip tier 2. Probably needs to get a squad of Panzergrenadiers in the field, honestly. He has a bit of manpower to work with. Ever since they reworked Ostrupen, they're just not that great. When they were a tier 0 unit, it means they could actually be deployed in the field in a forward position quickly. And now since they are locked behind tier 1, it's very little reason to go for them. The best thing about Ostrupen beforehand was the fact they could just simply be on the field. They were able to rush to a location first, which is something that Wehrmacht could not do to begin with, while OKW and the Brits could. And the US doesn't have to take time to build structure, nor the Soviets, in order to get out their basic infantry unit. Do now have a Panzerfaust being casted there onto the M15. Ostrupen do fall back there. We do have this person on Ostrupen. Try and go for more Panzerfaust. M15 backing on off, but not a reverse move. Panzerfaust does connect, so just need another one off, but he's probably not going to get it. He has lost his reaction squad, no forward repairs. Nor minesweeper, which means this telemine will not be swept. Ostrupen will start crawling away, but the scope rifles start picking off a good number of models there. This Ostrupen is in cover, so it doesn't have its accuracy penalties, or it always has a. Here's how the Ostrupen works. It has always a minus 50% accuracy penalty. Then when it gets in cover, it gets an increased accuracy by 300%, effectively giving them plus 50% in total accuracy, I believe. It's a weird unit. I just don't like how it's worked, set on up. Volksgrenadiers is behind some good heavy cover. The cannon warfare does roll a miss. The 55 caliber sniper does get a good shot onto the Volksgrenadiers, and got double 55 caliber snipers. M15 full repairs, pressing on the Ostrupen. We've got some incendiary rounds here. M15 needs to keep his distance. He is in range, he's out of vision range. Ostrupen. And Got a half burst there. Must got caught reloading. Do have some light AT mines being established here. Very rare asset to see actually blown in the field. Intersection does fall back there. Got a rifle flare there. Very nice. Infantry War 2 getting some chip damage on the M15. Doing some decent work there. Trying to get the incendiary rounds active. And he does manage to back away during the reload sequence. Smoke rounds being summoned. Looks like only one guy is not being affected by smoke. We got the Panzerfusilier G43s flying away. Slit Trench is probably going down. Bit of suppression here. Looks like it's straight forward. Here comes the next round, which will probably... Nope, next round, light shot will destroy the Slit Trench. We do have the Panzer Grenadiers taking a severe amount of damage. Now the Pioneer takes some damage there. That squad will fall back. We do now have the Royal Engineers hit some fire. Got a bit of smoke there from the Royal Engineers. All Troopman getting overran. Got the Captain and Pathfinder here. All Troopman severely wounded. Does he not have medical bunkers yet? He does not have the medical bunker yet, which means he is disintegrating.
We have a forward structure under attack.
Those Pathfinder's gonna have a field day.
Forces are securing our territory.
You now have Panzerfusiliers falling on back. There's a splash hit there. Over here, do you have the Rifleman squad taking some damage. All shooting open ground, so they have horrible accuracy. And the Panzer is forced back these guys. He needs the medical bunker. He does get it deployed in the field, so he needs to fall back the Panzer sooner rather than later. Probably the Austrian as well. Volkswagen is now advancing. Garrison still technically up. The M15 currently firing away against the Austrian here, and we got the Pioneers taking some damage as well. We do now have the Austruppen behind some good heavy cover. Now we've got the incendiary rounds being utilized as well. Preloading them will last for another 25 seconds. And now we've got an Austere Panzer IV being put in the field, and as well as an Austere mortar.
Enemy forces have 300 points.
Oh, looks like got a pretty good burst there, but does manage to escape on out of there. And we got some pyrotechnic smoke. This intersection will fall back as well, unlike it will be wiped on out. This player deployed out. That's the Major, so he has his final tier available. He has almost no fuel for a Sherman tank. We probably should see a Sherman tank. Magenta does get out his Panzer IV. Red has a Stuka Safus on the field. That was a side tech I was not eyeing. Of course, he can always go for a Jag Tiger later on, but we'll need quite a bit extra fuel for that, and not to mention the Sheer Panzer Quarter, so it needs 120 fuel for attacking, plus another 15 for the Sheer Panzer or for the SWS half track. So he still needs quite a bit of fuel before even able to even think about the Jag Tiger. There's splash hit there. Half track firing away. Super Spoons is not currently firing at the moment. You have now the Panzer IV. Look at the shot there. Still got the teller line here, which is very important. Does take a pen there from a Firefly. And looks like it will not be lured onto the teller mine. Firefly comes Gets a direct hit. Only one hit there. Only gets blind crit. And he may find the Teller Mine. He's at full health though, so it'd be 2 pens from AT gun. Nope, it looks like he will not find the Teller Mine. Though the thing as well, with this retreat possible path, he could reverse into it and die. Rose roll bounce there and miss there. See over here, that's the MG42. There's no pack running field because of the tier 2 skip. Firefly advancing. Red does get the kill there. Kind of for rotating around. Gets a pen there. He looks like he's going to run into that Teller Mine. Runs into the Teller Mine. Schuppen. Not enough munitions for a Panzerfaust. Needs 10 more munitions, so 15 seconds. Got a light 18 mine there. Got some smoke there, which actually is great for the Schuppen. Gives him cover to advance, stay alive for the Panzerfaust. Panzerfaust is available. Panzerfaust needs to be cast. All Volksgrenadiers does secure the kill there. So Panzer IV down, but Firefly down, so it's better for the Axis players in that situation. Also got pyrotechnic flares there. All shooting open ground, and like I said beforehand, their horrible accuracy means they're going to do no damage while in open ground like that. And I just saw something explode here. Must have been senior rounds rather than another landmine. So it looks like the US players lost some vehicles, and now we do have a Stuck E deployed in the field. Very nice. At this point in time, it probably is a good cheap asset that provides anti-infantry support for his inadequate Schuppen. And looks like a light 18 mine was splashed. Ooh, great hit on the 55 caliber snipers. But light 18 mine was detonated. Let's see. He has one for the forward assembly medics, which means 0 population consumption. More expensive, more population availability. Couple pens there, and a miss there. Jackson not pulling field. Gonna be severe overkill versus Stuck E. So yep, I still think the Sherman tank was a better call than the Jackson. Though against all the Sherman in open ground, they're not going to do much damage there. Panzergrenadiers advancing. The only threat he really has to worry about here. Stuck's boost barrage. It's actually coming over here. Then it's a lot 18 mine, and largely was missed. I think the US player was just simply scattering to get into heavy cover, not scattering for that to avoid that barrage. So, but either way, good dodge there by the US player. Stuck E fires a bit of damage on the Pathfinder. I'm not a big fan of Stuck E overall. I find it a little bit middling quality. Gets a bounce there. No, Panzerfaust does not get the crit because of the bounce there. Jackson. There. Push away forward. Size siege on the bunker because now we've got pack 40s. Campbell could rotate around, but maybe taking some 55 caliber sniper shots. Maybe at one point in time. Bunker has been destroyed. Jackson backing on off. Now we've got the Pathfinders falling back. Panzerfaust does connect onto the Jackson. There's splash it there onto the Obstrassen. Ref squad does fall back. the Storm Officer and the Bolters pretty forward. Bit of damage on the 55 caliber snipers, would not secure any kills. Bit of lag shots there on the intersection, decent damage. Not a barrage or just auto attacks at the moment. Grenade, oh, no pyrotechnic flare. First round could connect, but it's probably going to arrive a little bit late. We got Outflow gets a good shot there onto the Vet 3 Universal Carrier. Suxifus, it sounds like a partial Suxifus. 1, 2, 3, so it looks like he interrupted his barrage.
German Firefly complete.
And we got some Y phosphorus there. Captain's not liking it though. We got some sort of, I think, major artillery there. Still deep to forward, let's get a shot. Good pen there onto the Stug. Scott straight forward, gets a decent hit there. Pack forward connects, double pack forward connects on the Scott. Austrian defenseman forward, thanks to his teammate. There's now plenty of light cover for them to utilize and get their accuracy bonuses.
Artillery positions are ready to
Stu gets an okay shot there. Stuggy. Good pen there, and that's a flanking Firefly. Gets it abandoned, which a missed shot could actually accidentally kill it. And Stuggy can be reclaimed, which would be a minor victory. Stuggy has been obtained. Oshrupen does fall back there. These guys are quite wounded. And looks like he's trying to use the Scott to barrage this area. Nope, he's hitting the Pack 40s. Stuggy just creeping away. And looks like the Stuggy does find a Scott shot. Storm Officer and Noble Assassin advance way forward. Looks like got a bit of damage there on the Universal Carrier. Or slightly more than a bit of damage. It is now down. Officer takes some damage there. Good focus fire by the 5-man squads. Obsassin here, and another Suxifus barrage. Nails one snipers. Under grenade there. Gets a decent hit there as well. Kenworth needs to fall back. With probably trying to pursue the Universal Carrier. And he is going to rebuild the 55 caliber sniper. Don't think that's a great idea. This player has over 1,000 manpower, has 1 fuel cache. They have 3 fuel caches there. So somehow the US player can utilize the fuel. Generally, you don't want to go past 2 fuel caches, is my rule of thumb. Stuggy does take a shot there.
Wiped out.
Good hit there. Bit of damage there on that rifleman. Do now have a land mattress barrage trying to hit the leg. May decrew it. Good chance he will decrew it. Looks like he does manage to creep on out of there. Oshrupen now firing for some cover there. Jackson backs on off. Got double Scott here. He also has plenty of munitions for more P-47, so if the Axis players actually deploy our armor, he can hit it pretty hard. So one Jackson's probably actually adequate. It is specialty 1, so we can bring in some PVAP. So he may not need any more AT with P-47s. We do have... Red does have the shooter transporters on the field. Can eventually go for the Jag Tiger, but maybe better at this point in time to go for the King Tiger, since they're also lacking armor assets. Firefly got once... wait. This one, I thought this was the one that killed off the Stug. Maybe not. The Firefly was also a bit of a bad call. There's no armored assets. Probably should have gone for Kuramor, Churchill, or Comet. Which path did he take there? Neither at the moment. He has plenty of fuel there as well, so maybe a good idea to go for some Churchills. I do have a bias towards Churchills over Comets. And since they're lacking sort of any sort of real armor, so Churchills should be excellent. Pack 43 now being employed in the field. And here comes a war from the barrage. And mortar hits there. Pack Howitzer gets a good hit there on the mortar. And those Panzergrenadiers immediately got ripped apart there. Probably due to the Pathfinders. They are have at least one bar. Looks like it's just the one bar.
We are losing a sector.
The British player's going for a second Firefly, which is not a good idea. They just start fighting against armor. We do now have a Panzer IV on the field, which I understand. But with a Firefly on the field, and a Jackson, I'm not sure exactly what armored. I think it would be a good idea to save the King Tiger. Both snipers do manage to escape on out of there. And we've got another Pack 40 direct hits the Jackson. If it gets another hit, and it's done for. Does double tap the Jackson. Something I should also mention as well, something I always repeatedly mention when it comes to the Pack 43, it gets directed on the Scott.
Tank destroyer is ready for orders.
Scott, the Pack 43 cannot be smoked. It has no problem targeting through smoke since it's world piercing. Does take up the Osttruppen there. Pack 43 is out of range. Osttruppen advancing. Nothing yet to stop to actually engage the Scott there. The Stug E is just inadequate in this situation. Panzerfaust the Jackson for some odd reason. It had no damage on it, so that's a complete waste of munitions. And this infantry section has a MG34. Nuclear player has lost Oversaucen, still has plenty nice mixed composition. And right now the US player should start eyeing to barrage that the Pack 43 with some various indirect fire. Would be Scots, or he has a Pack Howitzer, right? Or just all Scots? Yeah, he does have a Pack Howitzer. Double Firefly skirmishing around on the flank. Just simply lacking proper targets. Single Panzer IV. It will hard to counter a single Panzer IV, don't get me wrong, but that's just a single Panzer IV for two Fireflies. That's why I say Churchill would be more than fine in this situation. Plus, it does get a bit of a tank that's a tank, and a tank that's a DPS. Though, no healer tank. Mercantica does not exist in this game. There. Oh, and we do have another land match here. Looks like he does largely avoid it. Does eat that grenade quite significantly. Now we've got a Vet 5 Sturm Officer, so now the Sturm Officer model has a STG, which is not currently alive. Firefly is a little bit wounded. This guy could go down here. Does not. Firefly advancing, Pack 43 not working this way. Go to hit and range Pack 43. I think that was a rifle's flare there. Yeah, rifle flare was summoned. Double Panzerfaust firing. Does get some good damage there. Pack 40 engaging somewhere right around here.
remaining. Increase your efforts.
Volkswagens do fall back here. And that all shooting gets ripped apart. The Pathfinders can't pick it up. Not sure what one of the squads can. The Major can. Oh, he looks like this guy's, any of those squads was able to. It's just that I had trouble actually selecting the player. Good damage there on the captain. Stogie is starting to fall back. I think that was the mortar splashing the terrain there. Yeah, the mortar's hitting the castle turret. And we've got a target weak point there on the Jackson. These could hit follow-up shots there as well. Grabs the M242 of the Pioneer squad. British player has not gone for hammer nor anvil. Bring down the anvil. I watched enough Tom and Jerry, know what an anvil does. Just recreate this game, recreate it in Tommy and Jerry. We do now have the Pathfinder up here, gets good shots there. Fresh Allstruppen. Probably should not have deployed out fresh Allstruppen. Probably should have just gone for more Panzer Grenadiers or regular Grenadiers. Oh, I think even Flammable War for Pioneers is generally better than Allstruppen at this point in time. Especially in this point of game. We do now have Land Master's Barrage raining on in. He does largely avoid it. Bit of damage on the Rural Engineers. We now have the Fireflies pursuing the Transport. The Transport goes down. And there's some Mechanomorphers on the, or a Mechanomorph on the flank to ward these guys from going further. But it's probably just safe just to pull them back. I think the White Phosphorus found the Pack 43. It's probably at 0 health. And we do now have Major Artillery. In fact, it's going to be improved Major Artillery. I wonder if this will one-shot it. It has a little bit of damage onto it. Major Artillery is not exactly high density of rounds. Does get some good crew damage. Didn't do any sort of gun damage there. Nope, the density is nowhere near enough. Got only a little bit of gun damage. Pack 40 connects on the M8, all-strokes gun. Smoke does nothing. It may interrupt line of sight, but that's it. It does not stop the... But Pack 43 does not rely on line of sight. As Grenadiers straightforward, do have the Vet 3 Pathfinder here. One grenade has been thrown, no response. Eats it pretty badly, but does fall back. And since it stayed in heavy cover, took 50% less damage. Here comes the Land Master's Barrage. The Pack 43 does get decrewed. Sticks a barrage somewhere around here. Splash the sniper a little bit, that's about it. Black half-track needs to stay alive to help shoot down the P-47s. The Sheer Transport's okay against shooting aircraft, not really a hard counter, more of a soft counter. Any sort of other flak unit is a hard counter to aircraft.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Pack 43 finds a hit there. Gun's pretty damaged, and there goes a Jackson. Land Master's Barrage running on in here. Oh, and that Pack 40 is now down to 0 health. Mortar hits there. Now we've got a Wehrmacht Panther. It does decrew the Pack 40 once, or Pack 43 once again. Panther's probably a good idea to help siege down or take down those Scots. But right now, Red is in a bad position. She lost sheer transporters. Has another SWS half-track review. He has enough. Yeah, go for the King Tiger. Don't deploy out the Panzer HQ.
We are down to 75.
But then again, King Tiger will have trouble versus double Firefly. Right now it's not looking good for the Axis players, to say the least. Oop, and looks like this Panther took a bit of a beating there. Well, looks like we'll escape on out of there. Has one Pioneer on the field, another one on the build queue. Got another high barrage there.
Pioneers ready for assignment.
So we got the cannon warfare take some damage there. We have the Volksgrenadiers
We lost a gun crew.
taking a bit of fire. Got another pyrotechnic flare. Got the cannon warfare now being re-secured as well. Double Scott, double Veteran C2. Very nice. Could dismount them and throw the Veteran into Jacksons if they need to, but at this point in time, they don't really need it. Recovery Sapper will go down. Axe players down to 63 tickets. Also, Central VP gets reclaimed. More so. We got something magenta on the other VP. All trooping off the point. As grenades push forward, I think we're going to see a bundle grenade. Bundle grenade's been thrown in a good position. Get some good damage there. Wipes out one of the Pathfinders. Yep, not necessarily on the point. Now he's on the point. That's the point. We do now have the light taking a bit of damage from the intersection. Volksgrenadiers closing distance. Here, land matches barrage. Probably trying to hit these guys here. Double land matches on the field. And we've got the Scots now engaging. One land mattress does go down. The other one will soon be going down. He has no way to really finish them off. We do have now the assault artillery right there. That's what causes issues to the US player. His base is skimming at the edge of that barrage. Oh, something exploded there. He's abandoning that region. Very good. Good withdrawal there. British player, I think, lost an intersection right there.
Ready to be used by all units.
Not sure exactly what squad he lost. Also, was a yellow decorator exploding. Scott takes a couple hits there. And got Jackson hit there. Does force fire ground there. Finish it off. Very nice. Pack 43 not existing at the moment. Good pens on Jackson. Pack 40. And there goes Jackson. Fire. Yeah, the blitz there. Main gun destroyed crits there. Tulips missed. Pack 40 needs fallen back. Panther needs to keep on running. Pack 40 was fully destroyed. And looks like a failure to retreat there by Magenta.
We have lost a Panzer.
Good pen there. But, of course, it does get easily decrewed. Spooks barrage running on in
Destroyed an anti-tank.
our left side. He has reported sheer transporters. And going for a Panther. Something a bit more mobile. Against all the Fireflies, could be better to go for Jagdpanzer. A third option you can do to fight against the Fireflies is by not deploying any vehicles and make them completely worthless. Got a pyrotechnic flare there. Rounds should connect in about 3, 2, 1. No, they just started firing there. There's an airburst. Land matches will get decrewed there as well, so both land matches are down.
Killed the land mattress crew.
Wipes out that squad as well. And now we have a church on the field queue. Very nice. Panther deployed on the field. Stug E here. Jackson now advancing. And he's actually going to throw a smoke to cover the land mattress tree. Is he actually going to grab a land mattress? It looks like he's doing it. Other Volksgrenadiers could try charging forward to salvage the other. Panther advancing. We'll have trouble versus the Fireflies, who are vegetable. Oh, they're both pretty wounded right now. Wasn't paying attention to that. Reaction Squad is trying to support out the repairs. Axis players have 55 tickets. Allies are at 184, so the Axis players do not have many tickets remaining. But the Allies don't have too significant either. We do have a LMG picking them onto the Pathfinder. It's going for their own M1919A6 as well. You have the sector artillery in this region, and that's why these artillery rounds there.
Got us at 30, fellas.
Repairs. And Shroom Pioneers do fall back there. We do now have another Jackson build queue for blue. Panther here. Red has a pretty good mixed composition. Magenta has decent composition as well. Going for a regular Grenadier. He's getting up on. He's going for all Strooping. Churchill advancing, taking a lot of hits there. The smoke there is not. Does he's force find the ground with his Fireflies. Double taps and tulips. Very Dutch Fireflies. Hands Tactician there by the Black Half Track. Does take a hit there, but that may have saved his Panther. Good smoke there. Very nice. We now have this Panther support. Does find 2 Jacksons and a Scott. Jackson needs to keep his distance. That one's severely wounded. Panther needs to keep on falling back. Got a Pack 40 here. No landmines as far as I can see. Gets a pen there. Jackson was revealed by the shot. No Panzerfaust there. Scott engaged in the Panzer Grenadiers. US player also has quite a bit of. He could actually use the P-47s. He still has 800 munitions for P-47s. I think at this point in time, with this many VPs remaining, he should be hyper aggressive with that. I think for the follow, Eyes 920 Fire. Welcome to the stream. White Foster's being summoned there. Castle turret now very smoky. That's not how you light the flames to summon Gondor. And now we got a land mattress barrage reading on in. Oh, takes out the 55 caliber sniper. Yeah, the captured land mattress barrage. It took a moment for my mind to fix itself. Let her land up. There's the barrage. That got nuked. Squads moving around the flank. We do have the Volkswagens here. Bit of wire probably put up by the British player. Tommy being a little bit warm now. And there is a traversable path there.
Airdrop runs now available.
So you got a good hit there on the Stug E. Jackson now advancing. Good pen there. And now the Stugi does go down. Pack 40 falling on the back. Got a shot on the Pack 40 over here. MG42 flank and getting nailed. Pack 40 gets a pen there, but probably won't secure the kill. Got now the Wehrmacht or the OPW Panther rotating over there. And line side blocker there. Just hit, stop, move, stop, and now in range. Rear squad bazookas will have trouble with this guy. And does get hit there even more. Could go down there. Dark weak point active. Does get out of range. Allied land match barrage was raiding on in or I'm not sure what was in Pack 43. That may have been an allied land mattress. Flamethrower, Minesweeper squad needs to fall back, has no useful gun remaining. Panther takes out the Scott, may need a combat blitz activated, got evap activated. Good pen there, and send the pen in return. And it's going to fall back there. The X players have 33 tickets, capturing the favorite. Allies are down 106. So this game will continue. Churchill, it needs repairs. Repair squad needs to capture up the VP, so he's going to do both. This will be a prime target for some sort of artillery barrage. I think I found the artillery barrage unit. I think I found the other artillery barrage unit. X-Players have a double capture in their favor. Got a unit here. Maybe a force retreat would be useful. He has plenty of munitions, so force retreat can help him win the fights. Obitos just trying to get on top of the point. Here comes the land match barrage. We've got both these guys really stacked up. One gets wiped out. Gets a point captured, which is important, but does lose a squad. This point remains secured. And we do have a Panzerstrike equipped Panzer Fusilier. Needs a Panzerfaust off. It does not have in-tank rifle grenades. Force by the ground. No in-tank rifle grenade there. Bounce. And I think there's another bounce there. And Firefly decides to threaten the crush order, so he decides just to fall back, which is a good idea. Everything falling back there, we've got the Volkswageners. He may just want to stay on top of the point to make sure it remains secured. Volkswageners tend to do the same thing as well. Pathfinders getting very warm. And the VP's now being decaptured by the paratroopers. So yeah, the Volks always try to stick around the capture. Does have to be careful of the Churchill. Fireflies providing pathetic support. He could throw a Panzerfaust onto the Churchill, but that would just be annoying at this point in time. Might be too critical. Black half-track firing away. Vet to Allstrupen trying to get on top of the point. Got a good Pack 43 hit there onto the Jackson. Does not follow it up. And Allstrupen gets on top of the point there. Now the point's being reverted. Panther here. Black half-track takes some hits there. Pack 43 rotating. The current crew by Allstrupen, that matters. Which actually does, means they're very vulnerable. They have a large target size of like 1.15. Pack 43 fires a hit there on the Churchill. And use target weak point to stun something if you need it. Looks like a rear squad on top of the point there. Flak half track goes down. Jackson advancing. Reinforcement bunker here. Got a concrete machine gun bunker there. Pack 43 trying to rotate around, hit the Jackson. Panther needs to use active combat blitz to get reduced receive accuracy. Panther connects. Massive crushes there. Took out the entire Sturmofficer. Reinforcement bunker there. Get there. Reinforce. Push forward. Maybe secure up his teammates. Here comes B-47. It's the first one in the game. Probably the last. Panther survived. Panther will not survive. More strikes there. Pack 43 still alive. This guy's not really alive. You have now a Pioneer here with Minesweeper versus a Bazooka rear echelon. So equally poor on both sides. Paradrop bump in. Does on Interfor 2. Suppressing. Won't start securing until they're fully landed. So he may get fully pinned. Does get fully pinned. But he can just stay there. Let the one guy die so they stay out of park. But suppression will be a slow recovery. Pack 43 fully destroyed. Pioneer gets wiped on him out. Machete's going for another Panther. Panther Shreks connect. Oh, the officer's still alive. He must have crushed the Oberklassen then. He crushed one squad entirely. Oh, that's all I know.
RE sappers reporting in.
Captain Fate against the Axis players. They're down to 29 tickets. They still have time.
Capture point is being overrun.
They have approximately 4 minutes before they lose the game. Good shots there. Got the Pantrick squad taking some beating. We got this Volkswagen hitting over here. This point is secured by Panzergrenadiers. Just keep that point secure. Dog on the point.
Has arrived from the fatherland.
Wehrmacht Panther. And this Volkswagen should just stay on this point and dogpile it. Fight to the last. Concrete bunkers down. Yes, I think got a machine gun down there. Oh. The game's over. I think the Axis players surrendered. Oh, no. I'm not sure what that was about. Sherman tank on the build queue. I know all the OPW structures are online. Usually that's like a big cause of lag spikes. Good shot there onto the Volks. Volks are just to get wiped up now. Points looking to be captured. Panther taking a bit of beating. And another lag spike there. At the current rate, I wonder, is game over? Could be the Axis player that surrender. Oh, there it goes. A lot of times if it lags like that, the game's over. Does take up the Panther. And, looks like Magenta lagged out of the game. Maybe bug spots, hard to say. Good pens there. So now Red has to play with an AI, and that's the problem. The AI is abandoning the VP over here. Got a regular Sherman tank pushing forward. Now the Panzergrenadiers, nope, they're moving.
Grenadier squad is ready. Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Do now have an airborne paratrooper squad in the field. At this point, being almost decaptured, a double capture to the Axis could result in a win. Airborne squad pair dropping on in. The AI banned the region. Could the AI? But this point's being captured, resulting in double capture for a moment, and then it's going to be a neutral capture for now. That's Faust there. Nope, don't retreat back. Okay, the AI managed to secure the rest of it. You can't trust the AI like this. The Axis players may have lost the game because the AI took over. Central VP being decaptured. Yeah, I think the Axis players have lost the game because the AI took over, because this point could have been contested for a very long time from that Sherman tank. And now there's going to be a capture in favor. Oh, what a bad way to end it. I think the Axis player, yeah, like I said, if the Panzergrenadiers were to spot and died there, all the last man, the Axis players would have won. Because the point would have been held for quite some time, and that would have been double capture past triple capture, resulting in game over. The attack goes down. Shumpai is centered, but got... Actually... No, we got, this is being captured up here, this has been captured, so we've got triple capture in favor of the Allies, and that's going to be game over. What a bad way to end it. And that is the end of the replay. This is Android saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay.